Hello, here is the episode 8 of OneMindZone Inspirational Conversations, the podcast that teaches you how to reach the balance of body and mind. For those who still don't know, this podcast is a monthly chat with mindfulness, alternative health experts, and other strong professionals that support personal growth and self improvement. And they are also willing to inspire other people. My name is Jogile. I am a certified holistic health and wellness coach at OneMindZone. And today I wanted to speak about very actual and important topic that I also coach with OneMindZone is work-life balance. Work-life balance can be difficult, but it is essential. Work often takes priority over everything else in our lives, and our desire for professional success can make us forget our well being. However, a harmonious work life balance or integration of work on in our personal life is crucial not only to our physical, emotional, and mental well being, but also to our career. And to speak about this very important topic, I invited Eva Planas today. We met with Eva a couple of years ago in Barcelona, right before I decided to move to live here in Barcelona. And I loved her energy from the first time I saw her. I could feel that she is a really caring and loving person. Apart from that, she's a great professional and probably the most experienced person I know that works in the music industry. She has been involved in the biggest festivals around Spain, like Zonar, Monegros, being part of Red Bull Music Academy in Barcelona, and now is the CEO, business manager, and events director for one of the most known techno producers in the world. And you will probably will find out which one. So, Eva, I'm really excited to have you as my guest today.
I'm very excited too. Hello, Yoga. Thank you very much, and it's an honor for me.
This is a big honor for me, actually. I could speak so much good about you as in this year since I know you, I only collected beautiful memories in my mind. And the fact that I met you through my beloved one, Mario, makes you even more special. And I love the fact that we always share some stories about yoga, meditation, or retreats. And this shows me that you are not only the career seeker and the good professional, but you like to work hard and enjoy the life in calmness as well. So let's go back to the topic work life balance. I briefly mentioned your achievements as I said before about being in the music industry and an advertisement. So could you tell us a little more about your career background and current role?
Yeah, sure. I started, I'm graduated in advertising, and I spent 6 years of my life working in, I could say, I could say the biggest, I think, worldwide agencies in the world. I'm telling this because it's connected to what's happening in the future. No? So I spent 6 years in the advertising agencies, but at some point I felt that it was not the world for me. It was super competitive, lots of stress, lots of hours working. And at some point I decided like that it was not my place. So magically, that is something that is going to come later also. My life make a turn, and I got into the music on this industry in not in a like a planned way, because I was in the moment deciding what I wanted to do with my life, because I had no idea. I was like, okay, I want to be in advertising, but I don't really know what I want to do. So meanwhile, I was deciding what to do with my life. I started working for Summer Festival as a driver, as a runner. And it was a summer thing. It was like, okay, I'm going to work for festivals in the summer. Just meanwhile, I was deciding what to do. And some people liked it how it was working. So during that summer, they proposed me to be the road managers to different DJs. So that it means like traveling with them and like caring about them and taking care of them. And most of these artists were like, when they were like, hey, where you come from? No, what is your background? And you used to explain the background. I was like, you used to work in like these big agencies and you're driving DJs now. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to find out what I want to do with my life. So I need to make money to live, so I don't care. So suddenly I met one very important guy that is the owner of Monegros Festival during that summer. And how is life? That he started to ask me questions. And he was a very good friend of one of my bosses at Hat in Ogilvy and Maida, one of the agencies. And at that moment, this guy was building his production company.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked me to run to start working for him in his production company. At that moment in the middle of the summer, I was like, no, I don't know what I want to do with my life. But of course, at the end, it happened. So here's where it starts on my love story with the music industry. I started with Monegros Festival. I spent with them 6 years. And then at some point, again, it happens to me different times in my life that suddenly I'm like, okay, this is where I want to be, or when I want to do a step forward. No? And usually I want to do a step forward. So 6 years after, I decided to stop working for Monegros Festival and set up my own production company. That then I was doing like Red Bull Music Academy, Monegros Festival, Sona, Low Cost, a lot of different festivals. And in all this process, since the first year I told you, I met Richie Houghton. Mm-hmm. That is the musician you were talking before about. So from my production company, I started to run his productions in Spain. And then at some point, he was like, well, I want you to stop your production company and just work for me. And I was like, for a long time, he was asking me too. And I was like, I'm never going to leave Spain. I love Spain. I want to be close to my family and my parents. I'm not going to go to Berlin. But at some point, he got this project. He called me and he was like, Eva, I have this project in Ibiza. It is Spain. You cannot say no. I was like, wow. So
he
then
really
I closed
wanted you, eh?
Yeah, totally. Because he tried for years, but he was always asking me to move to Berlin, and I don't like cold weather yoga. No. So you know me. So and here it's also maybe a life balance thing that I always wanted my family closer because I had very old parents. So I knew that I wanted to be where they were, meanwhile they were still here. So it was all connected. And then I started to work with him. I started my production company. And then I started a 4 years project, a big project, a very stressful project in Ibiza. And after that, when we finished that, he was like, okay, now you're not going to go. And then is when I started to run all his business. And I became the business manager, and the position I'm doing now that I'm the CEO and business manager. Basically, when it's a small company, it's about all the CEOs. I'm the COF, I'm the CEO, I'm the CFO. It's a small company, so everything related to business, I'm running it, and I also run I'm the events director for all the touring that we do all over the world.
Wow. And this is all started just from the driving.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I think only from this story, it's already it's like inspiring. So everything can happen.
Everything can happen. Of course, you have a background.
So it's like everything happens for the reason.
Yeah, that's true. But also that's the reason I was explaining my background with advertising, because
exactly.
Do my graduation and my knowledge on business and advertising, this is what helped me. Claro. It's not that you be coming from anywhere or nowhere. It's because you have this background that then you apply in the music industry, and it becomes what it is now.
So I can imagine you have a really busy and stressful work as well, because you're always busy with different projects and different events happening. So what does then work-life balance mean to you, and how do you work to achieve that goal? How do you balancing that out?
It is music industry, and something that I'm not always agree with, but if you talk to anyone from the music industry, they're going to say this is a super stressful industry. That it is. But usually people say there is no another way to do it. I do believe there is another way to do it. And I've learned there is another way to do it. So from just the history I just have told you about my professional career, when I started doing Monegros Festival, that it was my first real contact with running a festival. I remember when we finished the first edition I did, and we were all sitting, and there's what I learned. People confuse us the de-stress with the success. Mm-hmm. And it's not. That you de-stressing doesn't mean it was good. And then suddenly I was like, yeah, we made it. this is something we say a lot of in our industry. We made it. And I was like, yeah, we made it, but at what cost? It's like we were all destroyed. The stress was like killing us. We were 9 people running something that it should have been run with a team of 25. So I think here it starts my fight to say, I'm sure there is a better way to do it. No? And to learn every time we were doing a production, to learn where we had mistakes and how to solve them and how to be better and how not having people working 24 hours, because I'm sorry, after 10 hours, a brain doesn't work.
Yeah, of course.
And people need to eat, and people need to sleep. People need to rest and recover.
Yeah.
So yes, I work in a very stressful industry, as many others industries. But I have to say, I think my like top one was this 4 years project that I told you that I did in Ibiza. That this was like, I never had this stress ever before. And then it was between 2012 and 2015.
Okay.
Of course, 2012 was the worst one. And then 2013, I remember telling Angel, my husband's like, I don't want to do it ever again. This almost killed me. But then there is a part of me that was like, no, I want to prove myself and the others there is a better way to do it. No?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm just going to do the second year just to prove myself is a better, and learn and improve, learn and improve.
Yeah.
But I have to say, in 2015, the project ended and I was completely sick. It's not like sick, but I had a lot of things coming from stress. I had allergies, my digestion like was not working well. I have a lot of problems in my back. My back problems were like terrible. And then I was back into Barcelona and I was like, okay, I need to solve this. It's like stress just almost killed me. And here is when Eva is like, okay, my priority number one is that I need to find, this cannot happen to me ever again.
Yeah.
It's like, I love my job, I love my industry, but I need to find the balance. I need to find the work-life balance. So I think the first thing you need to realize is that if you're not in balance, your job is not going to be good.
Yeah.
So you need to find it. So for me, this was the first moment saying, okay, this is my top priority. If I'm not in balance, means I cannot do it. Like, but I have to say, there is a way to do it. There are ways to do it in balance.
And you were mentioning about the health problems you got during this stressful time. Did that balance it out afterwards when you started, when you realized that and started working on that? Did those problems disappear?
No, they don't disappear. I had an amazing doctor helping me
Ah.
to make them disappear.
Because well, with my coaching, I'm also teaching a lot that most of the problems actually come from the stress. Most of all of diseases, what we have in the bodies, come from the stress. So when you mentioned also the back pain, before when I used to live in Berlin, I used to work also very stressful job. I constantly had a back pain, constantly, nonstop. And only when I moved to, I think, Barcelona, then everything changed and the routines changed and everything. I don't have the problem, I don't have the pain anymore. So this is why I was
Exactly.
very interested and curious if that balanced out for you or not.
No, it's totally, the doctor helped me a lot. Of course, we were doing treatments and medication, like natural medication and a lot of things to balance and to, basically he was resetting my body, like telling my body, because stress is so powerful into your body that even my blood tests were like completely disadjusted.
Yeah.
It was like cortisol and everything was like completely not on the way that it needs to be. But it takes a while. It was a year and a half until my blood tests were like, okay, but you're now in balance again.
Of course, and if you do it especially more naturally, it takes way longer than if you would do it chemically.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Completely.
And what do you think are some of the best habits you developed over the years that helped you to strive for success and balance?
I think the most important is to learn to breathe.
Amazing.
It sounds stupid,
No.
but now it sounds stupid, but it's not. It's like now when I remember these 4 years doing this project in Ibiza, I have to say the island is beautiful, but it's the worst place. One, I could say now that I have worked in a lot of countries in the world, there are two places that I will never work again. That is Ibiza and Miami. They are the same. It's like nothing happens when you want it to happen. Things are not ready when you need them to be ready. It's like that is an island that goes in its own speed and you cannot do anything to change it. So what now I think on these 4 years, I was not breathing. I was just running,
Yeah.
overload and
Yeah.
running and not breathing. And then when I start my 2015 October to recover and to do everything, but actually in 2015 I started doing yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to yoga and thanks to my okay, I need to find my balance again.
Yeah.
Then I realized that I started to learn breathing, and I was like,
Yeah.
I've been years not breathing, because now is a tool that I think, wow. Sometimes I remember that moment in that project that was very stressful. If I would just stop and breathe, everything would have changed.
Yeah.
So I would say what the biggest thing that helps me is breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I could say the second one is like learn that you need to stop and rethink. Doesn't matter what is happening. It's like everyone and everything can wait.
Yeah.
So if you need to stop, breathe, and rethink, see around and see, okay, something is not going right. That's like I don't know how to say it in English, but there is an expression in Spanish that I love that is pollo sin cabeza. It means chickens without head. So in the music industry, it happens a lot that you see everyone running around, like when we do productions, and we all look like chickens without head. So this is always in the top of my head. I was like, I don't want chickens out without head. I would like people calm,
Yeah.
thinking. We also have tons of people in our hands. When we are doing an event, we have thousands of people that
Yeah.
if you make a mistake, so stop and breathe. So for me, the biggest recommendation is like, and the biggest one that I think I've learned is breathe. And if you need to close yourself into a bathroom so no one can find you and you have your 5 minutes of breathe, do it. I have to say that this is something at the end of this stressful project I used to do. There's moments that I was like, everyone wants to tell you something, so you don't find your moment. If you go to a bathroom, no one is going to get in. So for sure you're going to be alone, and for sure you're going to have your 2 minutes to breathe, and then you rethink, okay, what I need to do. No?
Maybe such a big event should have like I don't know, like a meditation minutes or meditation hour for everyone, and you say, okay, the the group
Yeah, I would.
meditation for everyone.
Yeah, or maybe a silence bubble. Like
Exactly. Some because if
that
there
you
are so
can
many
close yourself in there. Yeah, you can close in there, and then like, okay, have your 2 minutes. Okay, I'm ready
exactly.
again, and then.
No, I mean then would be everyone would work more productively, more aware, more focused, and more relaxed,
Yeah,
and everyone is
and
happy in the end,
and smiling.
and smiling.
It's like and smiling. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe we have a solution or ideas for
For
the
yeah,
future.
for the future when we are allowed to do events again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were saying all of these crazy stories, busy stories about your work in the music industry. So tell me, how competitive are you actually? Are you competitive?
Wow, this is a difficult question because the reaction would be, no, I'm not competitive. Yes, I am. But if I think about what competitive means, or you find out the definition of competitive, I'm on the side of the positive competitive part. It's like I like being competitive if it makes me be better, if it helps me to grow, and it helps me to do things like and do the best I can, but always on the respect of the others. I have no problem losing. Like some people say that when you are competitive means you don't know how to lose. I have no problem losing. I have no problem making mistakes and realizing them and asking sorry about them. I love human beings, I love people, and I respect them. So I could say that yes, I'm competitive, but the positive side of the being competitive.
Yeah, yes, you're right to say that competition actually makes you learn things.
A lot. I think so. It makes you grow, I think, or it
Mm,
makes you want to do things better.
yeah,
Or exactly what I mentioned before is like the first Monegros festival I did. I think it was the competitive side of me that was like, we can do this better. How?
mm-hmm,
Let's
mm-hmm.
find a way, but we can do this better. So yeah, I think I am. I think so.
Now, when you run your company, I'm sure you also have your team working for you, right? So, what does maybe you can advise the people that what does a company should do to help its team maintain a work-life balance?
I do think companies can do a lot
Mm,
about it. Um, I would say the first thing is encourage the team members not to work about hours, to
mm,
work about being productive, and the work needs to be done. One person needs 8 hours, another person needs 4. So I think we need to trust more the people that they and encourage them that work needs to be done, but
yeah,
do it in the times that your brain is better, because some people work better in the morning and some people work better at night.
yeah,
I would say this is very important. And another very important is like encourage them to decide if they want to do it from the office or if they want to do it remotely. I'm a person that I don't like 100% remotely. I think putting the team together in a room makes the creativity and productiveness and like finding solutions more powerful. So and after COVID, I think we've learned that
yeah,
being all at home, we all find that we like it, but at the
mm,
same time, we are all in the same room
yeah,
and we brainstorming, or someone has a problem, or another one is like, even today, now, for example, we're going to the office Wednesdays and Thursdays. And today this morning, we had the situation that it was like all the brains working together. We made it happen much quicker than if it's one person alone at home. But what's for sure is that companies can do about is these two, but then help them to have the space for meditation or for sports or for their personal life.
yeah,
Or as you were saying, it's like you said, let's have on the events a bubble for meditation. All office should have a silence room
yeah,
that anyone can use at some point. I was when I was doing this 4 years project in Ibiza that I told you that it was like very stressful, and I was worried every year to be better. I had this friend that she was doing, I'm not going to tell it right, but she was doing this super interesting thing that is like studying how the brain reacts about like interactions between teams, blah, blah. And she was saying all these interesting things that if you focus and one member of your team comes and interrupts you, it takes you 15 minutes to focus again.
yeah,
So this is other things that companies could do, like teaching all to these people, to the teams, so everyone understands, okay, now I'm going to interrupt my colleague. No, maybe I can interrupt later because he's focused. And if I distract this person, because this is also work-life balance, I think.
yes, of course.
Because if we bombing, it's like this girl was also teaching us, it's like we have the amygdala, no? The amygdala, the cavernicolas, all times when we were in the caves, the amygdala was helping you to tell you that the tiger or lion was coming to eat you.
Exactly.
So is the amygdala is like, the girl was saying our lions in 21st century are the emails and the phone calls.
Mm,
Every time a phone call or an email, our amygdala is like,
mm,
so that's also the reason we all the time. So we all have to learn. If you're on phone calls, you're doing phone calls. You're on emails, you're emails. And you work, if you're working and you don't look your email for an hour, nothing is going to happen.
exactly.
So I think, look, I think this is something I just realized it, but now these laws that all companies has, no, that we need to do that the cables are well done and
Mhm.
the tables, and that we all sit perfectly.
Ergonomic rules. Hmm.
All the ergonomic rules. Why we don't do like the mental rules,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
things that every company should take into consideration? because then the workers are more productive.
Of course, and more happy.
Completely. And you probably get much better out of them.
Yeah. But I know that already some big companies big companies like Facebook and so on,
Yeah,
they are already having these things, like they are having already these wellness hours for people where they have to do it they want it or not, just because I guess it's also because of their peace and calmness and productivity.
exactly. No,
But
they smart. It's
yeah, of
this American,
course, this
I
is
think it's
American
American.
way. Yeah. But maybe slowly it also should come here, and not only the big companies should have it, but also the small average companies should also think about it. Why not?
I think if the companies would realize how much it affects on the productivity of their teams, they would do it more. But people, again, people needs to stop and rethink. If we
Yeah.
don't stop and think, you don't realize these things. You just into this non-stop. Do you know the hamsters when they are on the
Hmm.
wheel?
In the wheel, yeah.
So we need to get out of the hamster wheel, look around, see what else we can do to be better. No?
Yes. Well, then it's also that people should get educated about that more.
Exactly. Schools. Why are we not doing this on schools?
It's funny because with almost with every person I'm having the podcast, we all of us, we always end up at the same point and saying education first. You have to start educating kids from the small days, what it means
Completely.
breathing, what it means breathing, simple thing, no? Or teaching yoga or meditation or all this mindfulness thing, awareness, no?
That I'm happy that I think slowly it's happening. Like I have a nephew 5 years old that he's doing
Mm-hmm.
yoga at the school.
Ah, so cute.
Yeah, it's so cool. So I think slowly, but still they're teaching a lot of things that we don't need anymore. It's
Mm,
like we have internet, we have calculators, we
exactly.
have. It's like it's an old school.
Yeah.
It's completely old school, and we need all these living tools
Mm,
that no one is teaching. That for sure we need. It's not only about companies. You were asking what companies could do, what schools
yeah.
could do as
Exactly.
well, no?
Exactly. Well, school is also a company, no?
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
So, how you do you personally set your team up for success?
Wow. I think it's very important the selection of the team you do,
Mm-hmm.
first of all. And a year, I think you need to decide who your team is very slowly, but then decide if someone is not fitting, solve it very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And the way to maintain also all this healthiness between the team is like listening to them. I think you need to set up a very open communication with your team members, so you always know where they are, how they feel, if they are motivated or not, if they don't like what they do, what you can do for them to make them feel better. So for me, I think is the communication, super open communication, that we always know when it's like it's not a problem if someone says, I don't like this, I'm not
Yeah.
motivated anymore. No?
Mm,
But
mm,
I want to know it. I don't want anyone sitting in our company that is feeling that is not useful or is feeling is not motivated, or that he's thinking I would love to do what the other is doing. No?
yeah.
So I would say communication.
When I listen you speaking, I think the work you're working, or you are like a dream boss,
Oh,
and the work you do, I think, is like a dream job. Many would
but
like
I can,
to be employed by you.
but yeah, no, I have to say that I feel very thankful that I think I have a very good relationship with everyone that has worked with me or works with me. But I have also to admit that I could be very tough
Yeah.
because I'm very perfectionist.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and if I have a goal, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna do everything to make the goal. But I don't know how to say. It's like I can be tough because I want things done
To
well
get done. Yeah.
and to get done. And sometimes to get things done, you need to like not be tough, but be serious and like be focused. But yeah. So yeah, usually people who work with me, I'm very thankful they love me, but they also could say I could be very tough and very strict and very demanding. But the work could be demanding.
Of
It's like I
course.
like, yeah,
It's like, when I worked in Berlin, and I was a general manager of one company, and then I had a big team working for me. And I always found it very difficult to, as you say, to balance this out between, because I from one side I just let them do many things as they wanted to do. Like, you feel so, do it. Like, it's
yeah,
okay. You feel good. Like, they had a lot of freedom. I mean, we were a very easy team. But at the same time, I was also this opposite, the one who was, sometimes I was appearing and I was just like a hurricane,
okay, exactly.
it's like, "Shh, why this is not done? Why this is not done? This, and is it's not easy. It's not
No,
easy
it's not easy because sometimes to get things done, as you said,
because people get too relaxed.
yeah, you are the captain, so the captain needs
Exactly.
to like make things happen, no? And sometimes you need to like be like serious and straight, and yeah, a little bit.
Let's go now a bit to the different topics about daily routines and the focus and productivity, time management, because I think this is also very interesting to know for everyone. Why do you think it is important to manage your time very well?
Because we only have 24 hours a day. There is no way. Some people fight to make them like, but no, there are 24.
Hmm.
So you better make the best use of them. And I think the better use of the good use of them is like that you find time for everything you need. So people say you sleep 7 hours. I need 9.
You sleep
And
nine
everyone
hours.
needs,
Lucky.
I'm a marmota.
What time are you
I
going
love,
to bed? Because
we are in bed. No, I think I'm in bed at 10.
okay,
We
okay.
sleep. We try
Ah,
to be sleeping. Yeah, we like eating. We're not like typical Spanish. We like eating dinner like early. We love being in bed around 10, but it
mhm.
doesn't mean we read or we see a TV show. This is the next step I need to take out of my bed. That is the computer. But
Ah.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Now what I'm doing is I see one TV show, but then before falling asleep, I read. And
Hmm.
I'm realizing that I'm already a good sleeper. If I read before sleeping, I'm even a better sleeper. So no, but people, it's like sometimes I think how I did handle all this stress in my life. And my doctor was saying, because you're a good sleeper, because I have to say, even if I had a lot of stress,
Yeah,
I always sleep. I'm a good sleeper.
yeah,
And I usually sleep between 8 to 9 hours.
yeah,
And for the people that is listening to us and they living in a lot of stress, make, I don't know how, but make it happen that you sleep, because
yeah.
sleep is what makes you recover. If you recover, look, I remember when, and that for years, one of my doctors, when I started to go to the doctor, because he was like, Eva, you like Olympic athlete. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, when you're doing this project, you have to treat yourself, you like an Olympic athlete. That it means you
Exactly.
need to sleep. You need to sleep 8 hours. You
Hmm.
need to eat 5 times a day.
Wow.
It's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you have to snack in between, because
Hmm.
when you're under stress, you're burning your energy
And you need more
so
energy.
fast.
Yeah,
You need a lot of protein.
yeah,
Like, doesn't matter if you're vegan or you eat animal protein, but
yeah,
protein. You need a lot of protein because it's what your brain is claiming and needing. So you need to treat, if you're under stress, treat yourself like you're going to the Olympic Games tomorrow and you need to treat them. So coming back to the question, um, sleep, I think your day needs to have your work done, your sleep, your eating. But this is sometimes when people are under stress, I don't have time to eat, or they eat in front of the computer. Don't do that.
yeah.
When you're eating, you're eating.
This is again
Your
back to the
brain,
same thing we were speaking before. No, if you do something, do it once, one thing
exactly. So,
at a time.
and it's you for eating, you need 20 minutes, 50 minutes. Enjoy your food. It's like you need to enjoy what you're doing. So
Yeah.
your 24 hours, you need to do your sports or move. Just walk 10 minutes around.
Mm, mm,
You need to care about the people you love. You need to be on silence with yourself. You need to sleep, you need to work, and you have, come on, you have 24 hours, make it happen. It's like, and something that I've learned with the years as well is like that you have your calendar, no, you have your plan. You
mm.
do a plan to break it. If at the beginning of your day, you look at your calendar and you say, oh man, I put too many things, just change it. I'm sure, I'm 100% sure there are things that you can move. So
Yeah.
move them. Don't try to make all of them, because then we in the wheel again, no? And then
Yeah.
you get stressed. So you have 24 hours. There is no way that you can stand them. So make the best use of them.
Good point. What is the number one thing you do to make sure you get the most out of your day?
Oh, the calendar thing.
Ah, see.
Now, yeah, I think the first thing in the morning after my morning routine is check the calendar and ask myself if what I have in the calendar is realistic or not, or if it's
Mhm.
going to kill me. If it's going to kill me, okay, then we need to change something. It's like, I
It's like a
remember,
reality
yeah.
check, no? Is it
And I think
realistic
it's,
or not?
yeah, exactly. And I think it's the first thing you have to do in the morning. Check your calendar, check and use your calendar, because if you're not using your calendar, doesn't matter if you check it. It's like, but I'm a person that I use, if you ask me how, when is the moment that I find the balance between my personal life and my work life, is when I started to put my personal life in my icon
Mm,
and to treat my personal appointments, sports, having lunch with my husband, seeing my friends, going to meditation, going to therapy. It was in my calendar on the same level of importance than my work things.
good
Because
one.
I remember for a long time, if I had, okay, I want to go for yoga, and then someone calls me for a meeting, I would not go to yoga. This is not happening anymore. You don't have to give explanations to anyone. No, I have
Yeah.
another meeting with me.
Yeah.
You have another meeting. You have another meeting with yourself, and you're the most important, because if you're not fine, you're not going to give the best of yourself.
Exactly.
So for me, the answer of your question is the calendar, but the calendar with everything, not only your professional life, with your personal life. And I'm a person that if you check my calendar, you would have fun. It's like I have everything, even the 15 minutes meditation
It's
or
funny
the everything.
because I used to do the same as well, maybe a year ago, and I was from the first morning on waking up, even writing when I wake up. After wake up, okay, my meditation, the yoga, the breakfast, the stuff. But now somehow I stopped doing it. I don't know. Maybe I should get back.
No,
Maybe I should get back
maybe it doesn't work for
because I
everyone.
felt I always writing the same because I do
Yeah, it's
every
like
day the same.
it looks the same, but for example, only one thing that I don't put, because I'm a person that if I don't, I'm like a kid. My husband would say is like, I need to sleep and I need to eat. If I have these two things, then everything is fine.
Like
So
me.
the only thing, if I don't eat, I remember when I was doing the Red Bull Music Academy, I had this amazing boss, like a German guy, and very soon he understood. He was like, okay, at some point, if you don't fit ever, the mood is going to be completely different. So sometimes he was coming to say something. He was like, oh no, it's lunchtime. Eva, do your thing and then I come back again. It's like, no, I need to sleep and I need to eat. So the only thing, it's so integrated in me. The only two things I don't add in my calendar is sleep and eat. But the other day, seeing the calendar of a friend that he's under stress completely, he had lunch on it. I was
Oh,
like, Axel, you have lunch? And he was like, yeah, if not, I forget eating. I was like,
wow.
No, he was like, no, forget eating. But then my colleagues put meetings in those times. So it's also the way to
Oh
stop the others
shit.
to put meetings. No, but look, it's like it's important you have all your needs on the same level of importance than
Oh,
your
it's
professional life.
self-reminding kind of.
So calendar, my recommendation is everyone use your calendar for everything, for your personal and for your work. And then use two colors. I use two colors. If there is too many of one color, something is wrong.
Because it's true. I have more. True. Well, you actually now somehow you kind of answered my other question I wanted to ask you as well
Oh yeah.
about the tips, tricks, and shortcuts to help us manage the workload and the schedule. So kind of you answered with a calendar tricks. Do you have any
Yeah.
other tricks and tips for that?
Yeah, I would say when I was studying university, we had at the beginning I thought, why are they doing this? And then with the years, I was like, how smart it was this. Not the last year of university, we had one class that it was only to prepare us for interviews, for doing our CVs.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this class that I loved, that it was this girl teaching us how to decide what is important, what is urgent, what is important, what is not important, and what can wait. So this is really connected to the calendar thing. If you start your day and you see too many things on your calendar, we always make the mistake to feel like everything is urgent or everything needs to
Yeah.
happen now. And it's not true. It's not true. You have to be able to say what is really urgent, what is important, that it means it is important. I cannot forget about it. But if I do it tomorrow instead of today, nothing is going to happen. And then you have the topics that are, okay, this can wait, but this doesn't need to happen. So connecting the calendar with this being, and it sounds like a very basic thing, but I could say, Yoga, that not everyone has the capacity to realize what is urgent. A lot of people, and coming back to the team, it's very important also when you're working with the team, you want your things done.
Yeah.
So sometimes because you want your things done, you don't have empathy on what is the other person doing. So
Yeah.
you just bump the other person with everything you need done.
Yeah.
And you have to stop yourself. Hear the stop again. Stop yourself and think, it's urgent, or I can just make a list for this person. And when this person gets 50 minutes, I can just go through the whole list instead of interrupting this person 15 times.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm
So
so gonna use this thing from now on because when I work, I all the time I all the time disturbing other person and saying or asking or doing. Now I will start making a list, and then when it comes to time, I will do, because of course it's not fair. I
no,
cut the focus of the person completely.
yeah. It's like, I think offices need more, teams need more empathy. It's like
Yeah.
one thing that I don't understand. For example, you're writing an email, no? And you can see this person is like typing, super focused. And then the other's like, hey, hey, hey. And it's like,
This could
I
be
don't know
me. Hey.
if I see someone typing like very into it, I'm like myself is like, okay, I wait until they finish, no? Because you're on a line of thought and you get interrupted. It's like, and these are the kind of things that can help a lot coming back to the teams and the offices a lot. It's like empathy.
And
It's like
patience.
patience, empathy. It's like look to your colleague, is super focused, make a list. And
Yeah.
maybe I love people makes fun of me because they say I'm the only person in the world that still uses Skype. But I love Skype because we in the team we all have it. And then I send one Skype to this person. I say, whenever you have 10 minutes, let me know. So you're not interrupting this person. Whenever this person can see it, is going to see it. And whenever this person gets the 10 minutes, I'm going to have a list for this person instead
Yeah.
of like, hey, hey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna start doing it from tomorrow on. I have the list of the things I already learned through you. So if we speak about these distractions, all this, hey, hey, or many other. How do you limit distractions with the headphones?
I'm addictive. I have, but I'm not sure this is a good recommendation or a bad recommendation because, yeah, I have to say because I love my headphones. It's a canceling noise ones.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, when you are with people and you have your headphones, even if you don't have music, they might think you have it. So if you
Ah,
don't
so even
reply,
if you have no music, you don't hear anything. Oh my God, that's amazing.
no, you
I
hear, but
need it.
it's like, so my addiction to the headphones is because you put the canceling noise and it makes like a bubble. So it
Yeah.
helps me to concentrate. Most of the time, I have to say, I wake up and the first thing is to play music. So most of the time I have music, but sometimes I even don't have music, but it helps me to separate from the rest of the world in
Yeah.
somehow to come into my bubble and I'm okay. So sometimes I'm even like working and I don't have them and I'm missing something. So that's the reason I'm not sure it's a good recommendation because I even walk around home with them. I love
That's
them.
really, it's really
It
addiction.
makes, yeah, it is.
It means
So
you're
I'm not
really
sure.
good.
I'm not sure it's a good it's a good recommendation. But also stops the others to ask you questions because they think that you cannot hear them.
True. Well, it's seriously because I'm also trying to find the way how to work, because if you work in the same space with more people, you're not alone. This is really sometimes annoying because if someone is having a meeting on Zoom
Yeah,
meeting with a client or something, and you work on some things, for me it is so distracting. I cannot concentrate at all. And then, or maybe for example, if I'm writing something content, or for my articles or something, I cannot even listen to music because it completely distracts me. I cannot even.
canceling. Then you put this button,
Yeah,
canceling noise. Amazing.
I
But I'm not sure
I have to try.
I'm not sure it's a healthy recommendation. But I'm being super honest. How you
No,
limit
but
the
it's good.
distractions? With my headphones.
Exactly. Yeah, because many people, that's how they do it in the co-working places and stuff.
Yeah,
Everyone works on the
exactly.
headphones.
I do.
I will
I
try.
do.
I want to try those, the ones you have.
Yeah.
And we were speaking about being competitive and stuff like this. What what are your views on the goals, on the goals, on the timelines, and measuring success?
About myself,
Mm-hmm.
for me, the goal it's always stop and ask myself if I'm doing what I want to do, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm where I want to be, and with who I want to be. If the answer of these three questions is yes, um, I'm getting my success. I'm making my goals, and these are the three questions I need to be answered as yes.
And if it's one of the questions is no, are you stepping out?
I change. This is this is what happened when I was in advertising, and I was like, okay, this is not the place I want to be. I change it.
Mm,
I was working for Monegros Festival for 6 years, and I was very thankful to that family. I really love them. I had a very good experience, but I was like, guys, I need to do a step forward. Thank you very much. I step out, and I
mm.
became a new project. And then I did my new project. I would say I think I'm brave.
Mm.
That it doesn't mean I don't have fears. I have tons of fears. It doesn't mean that when I decided that I was like completely sure. And no, no, no. It's like there is one phase of ever that is like I'm gonna do it, and there is another one that is like, oh shit, what I'm doing. I don't know if this
Mm.
is gonna work. But I think I don't know if it's gonna work, and this like challenging point is what it makes me continue.
It's also
So
as you
yeah,
know what you want in the same time.
yeah, but I think it always takes a while. No, I remember when I was on Monegros Festival, and suddenly I was like, "Oh, I need a change. No, but for a while, you don't know what the change is going to be. But I think you have to accept that is a change is coming, and let it happen.
Mm.
because it's gonna come. You need to do it step by step. You don't need to, you cannot be on a rush.
Yeah.
I think you have to accept that a change is coming.
Yeah.
Have your eyes open for the signals or things that are happening around you that you can take it
Yeah.
a little bit. No.
Yeah. So we also spoke about the stress of all of the industry and all of these jobs, and about the finding calmness. And so I want to speak more about what's the most stressful situation you faced at your work so far, and how did you handle it?
I'm not sure I handle it. I think I survive it. No, I think Monegros Festival was very stressful. And then the Red Bull Music Academy, the project, it was very stressful as well because it was a totally different world. I was coming from the events production that you
Mm-hmm.
work with teams that they are used to it to do things between dates. You start this day and you have to finish this day because we come. And then Red Bull Music Academy was in a project in the city, rebuilding a building and working with people that they don't care that you have a deadline.
Of
They
course.
don't really care.
Yeah.
So it was very stressful as well. But the worst one is Ibiza, for sure. So the first year, 2012, that for me is the worst one. If I think the smartest recommendation would be if you are in the same situation, step out. But I couldn't. I'm a very committed person. So I remember I met um, Aurora, this osteopath in Ibiza. It's not just an osteopath. She was touching you and she was like reading you. She was telling you, and the first time I met her, she was like, "What are you doing here? Get out of here. This is killing you." I was like, "I cannot get out. I committed for 4 years and I'm a committed person. I don't, it's like I have to find another solution, but I cannot get out." But for the people that is listening to us, maybe don't listen to me on this. I think the smartest would be step out. You're drying out your energy, you're drying out all of you. So how I handle it, I survive it. I was like, you need to react. Probably the first year I was too slow reacting, but you just need, okay, you need more team, contract more team. It's like, don't be afraid. It's like you needing more resources, put more resources to solve the situation. And for example, the first year of Ibiza, I was fighting against the island. And this is something I shouldn't have done. This is what I've learned the second year. It's like, okay, the island works like this. I need to settle, I need to relax, and I need to like be flexible. It's how it's going to be. So the first year I was trying to use all the suppliers in the island. The second year was bringing everything from Barcelona. It's like, okay, the island is not going to give me this.
Yeah.
But 2012 was so hard because I was like, I wanted to make it happen. And I wanted, it was like fighting and fighting. And sometimes it's not, but you know what? Again, we come back to the stop.
Mm.
If you have the time to stop and breathe and say, okay, this is not working
Yeah.
and this is killing me, what is the solution? It's
Yeah.
like fighting with the island. No, the island has been here thousands of years. I'm not going to change it.
Yeah.
So how am I adapting to
Yeah.
this situation? How I handle it? How you need to be flexible.
Exactly.
It's like, so this was for me. 2012 was the worst year on a stress, but I could not say I handle it. I would say I survive it, and I've learned that this is something that I want in the top of my head always. Not learn while you're working,
Yeah.
not just do your work. It's like do your work and then analyze. Can I do it better? What I did wrong? What I can improve? How it's like make your process, and I think it's more fun if you learn while you're doing it, and wow, I can do this in this other way, and it's going to help me, and it's going to improve, and it's going to be optimize all our resources and our time. So it means we're going to be more work-life balance. So yeah, it's not my example year, but I could say it's a year that I've learned a lot.
And I mean, we also learn in the hardest way always, no?
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
the next time you are stronger, then the skin is way thicker.
Yeah,
They
you are,
cannot
and
scare
probably
you anymore.
yeah, And maybe one friend of mine was telling me that used to work with me on that year in Ibiza was saying, wow, maybe the positiveness of all of this, that if you wouldn't have taken yourself to that limit,
Yeah,
you would never have asked you so many questions to yourself.
exactly. Exactly.
So there is a positiveness in all of this, I think, as well. Because I guess that if you are in a working process that nothing happens, or then you don't even have a space, or you don't have the motivation to ask these questions to yourself.
Exactly. What advice would you give to another professional in order to calm down who is stressed out about the deadline?
Stop, breathe, and analyze if you can maybe move the deadline. And if you cannot move the deadline, yeah, it's like, because some is what I'm saying. Sometimes it's like I have a deadline, it needs to happen. It's connected also to the have a look to your calendar every morning, first thing, and think about if it's too much, if you're not gonna make it, if you overload, is there anything that you can change? Maybe you can put 2 more people in your team.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we also on stress and you're like, I don't have time to explain to anyone how to do this. I do it. And then it's I do it and I do it and I do it. So, and then the bag is heavy. And then, so if you're in a stressful moment about the deadline and you feel you ahogando, I don't know in English, how you say, like,
Like
the,
choking you. Yeah.
it's like, there must be for sure something that is in your hands to do
Yeah.
that is going to help you, and maybe it's moving the deadline,
Because maybe it's not that important.
or
Back
maybe
to
it's
the
not that
same.
urgent.
Maybe
Maybe
it's
it's not
not
that
that
urgent.
urgent.
It's important. Maybe the deadline is important.
But
It's
it's
like,
not
this is
that.
the problem with the music industry is like a deadline is when you open doors on an
Yeah.
event. I cannot move that. This is
Yeah.
the problem our industry has. I cannot move that, but maybe I can duplicate the team that I'm having working on it. So it's like double the people that is working. So
Yeah.
you need half of the time that you were needing.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's crazy because people are tend to put more responsibilities, more things onto themselves instead of asking other people for help, no? Because like somehow we all think I can do it, I can do it, I can do more, and I can do more, and I can do more. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's the way of the proving something. Maybe just proving to yourself in the end. But
Is what I was going to say. Proving to who?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
proving to yourself. I think it's more about what we said before.
Or is the
Not
control freaks people, who is like want to have everything under my control.
control freak, but at the same time, I think there is a very important side of thinking, I don't have time to explain it to anyone.
Yeah.
But we have to learn that the time that it's an investment. You're not losing time. You're investing time
Yeah.
because you're going to teach someone to do something, meaning that you don't have to do it, meaning you have more space, meaning you're going to make your deadline.
Exactly.
So I think it's all about, I'm sorry to say all the time the same, but it's about stop and breathe, stop and breathe, stop and breathe and think. It's
Yeah.
like, am I doing my best? Am I doing everything I can do? Why I'm suffering? I think a question, as soon as we suffer, we should say, okay, this is not the right way.
Mm.
This is what I was saying about the de-stress and saying, it's a success. We made it happen.
Yeah.
No, look, but how was the way until here? Well, you were
Exactly.
suffering.
Yeah.
So no, that's not the way.
Mm.
Like there must be another way for sure.
Exactly. Because for then comes another time and then you're gonna do the same. So as you say, learn.
Learn.
Stop and learn. So we spoke so much about the office world now. What are your interests outside of the office?
Whatever I can do with my wonderful husband.
Oh, so beautiful. Hmm.
Um, the people I love, getting together, having a drink, enjoying, just knowing how they are. Um, I love dancing. I miss dancing
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
Mm,
Laughing and moving. It's like I really need my yoga, my dancing, and my sports. I do the three things, and I need to do it also because if not, my back hurts. So
yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
and good food and a good glass of wine
And sleep.
and sleep. Exactly, sleep, eat, dance, sleep, eat, dance, and love. Yeah.
Wow. Perfect. Perfect. Um, I heard you many times mentioning the word magic, and magic, it is something that attracted my attention because it implies sensitivity and a certain spirituality. What does the word magic mean to you?
Magic means a lot to me.
Mm.
And sometimes when I talk about it, I know I can see on the faces of the people that they probably think what a naive person, no? But
Yeah, people don't like the word neither magic,
no,
spirituality, neither anything. No, no, no.
but I do believe in magic.
Mm,
If you see everything that happened to me and how things turn into others,
mhm.
it's about magic. And it's like one thing connected to another a person I met connected to me to another thing that happened later.
Yeah,
um, a situation like brought me something into my face that I was reading the sign, and then I was like, okay, there is something there, and then later on it came in. And a lot of things are magic. Even it's like my parents passed away already, and sometimes, and I do believe they helping me. I'm sure this is another part of the magic. It's like
yeah,
sometimes things happen that I'm like, oh man, I have angels up there. It's
yeah,
like I'm not a religious person, I'm not a
yeah,
Catholic person, but I do believe in the universe, and I do believe I have souls around me that are also helping me to magic happen. So I do think magic happened in my life. I also think magic is around everyone. But you have to have your eyes open.
yeah.
You have to be open to read the signs, and you have to be open to say to to um to follow your gut feeling.
Yes.
It's like I'm a person that I listen a lot to my gut feeling, and sometimes I don't know exactly why I'm doing that, but I have the gut feeling I have to do it, and then I do it, and then this takes me to somewhere.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, how I came here. No, it's like even when I told you, it's like I stopped working in advertising. I didn't wanted this world. And then I met this guy in the middle of nowhere because it's a club that is in the middle of nowhere. And he was a friend of my old boss in a big, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
how, and then he was asking recommendations, what he was thinking about me. He recommended me. And then he was like pushing really hard to have me. And then I did Sona and I met Rich. And now my career is all based in working for him. And it's like Red Bull Music Academy. Red Bull was a sponsor of Monegros, so I met them, so they knew me. So as soon as they knew I started working for Monegros, they called me to do the Red Bull Music connection. I don't know if it's magic, if it's connections, if it's like being open to let the things happen. I don't know how to call it. I call it magic.
Yeah, just
I
also
do
this like
believe
synchronicity of the things happening, kind of, but is also if you do it with a pure soul and pure wish, and you just enjoying that what you're doing and you're just doing it, that's why it's happening things.
exactly.
Because maybe other people don't have this magic or this thing because they are not that honest first, maybe with themselves.
Probably, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I do believe in magic, and I do believe
Mm-hmm.
there is a lot of magic in my life. So, or at least I love thinking that I have it. So I'm happy with this thought. So I like it.
This was funny because another a year ago or something, I was in a post in Barcelona, and I was waiting for the line, and there was one person coming to me and saying to me, asking me, "Are you a lucky person?" And like the stranger completely, and I was like, yes. I was like, why do you think so? Why do you say? And he was coming, I don't know, he was coming from some another culture, maybe he was Indian or something, and he said, in my culture, for the people who has the the
Oh yeah.
thing in between the T's, it's a lucky person. And I was like, I would never think, but I was like, but maybe it's true. Yes, I'm lucky.
I'm a lucky person.
But I am
Yeah.
lucky. I was like, I don't know. Maybe it was not true, but maybe it's true.
Maybe it's true. Nice.
um, what is your personal mission statement?
My personal mission statement.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I think kind of what we said before, no? Like be where I want to be,
Mm-hmm.
with who I want to be, and in the place I want to be. I think this is my mission. Like always, I always had this thought, not that it's connected to the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
That people is in the hamster wheel and they don't even stop to think, okay, stop. No, what am I doing? I'm in the right place. I'm good and I'm feeling well with what I'm doing. So I think my mission statement is like always remember to stop and think to myself, ask to myself if I'm really are where I want to be
Mm.
and with who I want to be. And this is my mission statement, I think.
Tell me one thing about yourself that you would like to improve upon.
Always being tough when
More
I'm stressed.
tough. Ah,
No, no,
more tough with yourself.
no, you said something that I want to change, no?
Yes. Ah, okay.
No,
Okay.
not being tough. It's like sometimes when I'm under stress or
Mm-hmm.
when we have a deadline
Yeah.
or when I'm over overload and someone asks me, I'm not the most lovely person. I'm not like, hey honey, what do you want? I'm like, what? So this is funny because I've been all the talk saying stop and breathe and blah blah blah. And the theory is amazing. I'm improving myself, but I have to say that sometimes you don't have the day to breathe or you don't have the day to have time to be super nice. And I'm working on it. I think I'm getting better, but I would love to even be better that no matter what the situation is, like breathe and listen.
Muy bien. Let it goes to the universe in the wish. So
Sending the
now,
wish.
exactly, sending the wish. And now we came to the last part for the last three questions, what I always ask to every person in my podcast is what does your morning routine look like? I think we actually talked about already that you wake up, that you have to sleep actually for 8 to 9 hours and you wake up early, but tell me more even detail.
Um, I'm going to say something that I do before I go to sleep because it's connected to the morning routine. That is like, this started because I work worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So I work with different time zones.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, a few years ago, I've learned that my phone needs to be on flight mode at 10 p.m. Because if not, and since 2 years ago, I think my phone doesn't sleep next to me. So 10 p.m. I put my phone on flight mode and it stays on the next to the kitchen,
So do you
not
have a
into the room.
regular clock for alarm?
A little,
I have to buy it. Yeah.
exactly. I have a wake up alarm, a clock alarm that is the typical. I will show it to
Mm-hmm.
you. It's like the travel one. And I have to say, this is a present from our sound technician.
Mm-hmm.
That one day we were talking about this, and he was like, "But Eva," because I started to put it on flight mode and using it as alarm clock. And then he was like, "But you don't need it to have it in the room." And I was like, "How I wake up?" And he was like, "Wait." And he went into Amazon and he sent me this travel alarm, this super little. So yeah, now it's outside the room. So my morning routine, something that is very important, is like the alarm. I can snooze the alarm for 15 minutes minimum. I'm really
You
terrible. I
do
cannot
this
do like,
even after nine
I'm really,
hours of sleeping, another 15
yeah.
minutes snooze.
These people that the alarm rings and they do like, good morning.
Yeah.
It scares me a lot. I'm like, how do you do that? It's like, I need to paddle. And then I need my 10 minutes with my husband, like cuddling. It's like, I'm very slow in the morning. I hate these people that they open the window or something. I'm like, no. So and then I do my 10-15 minute stretch that I start in the bed, and then I finish with a couple of like sun salutations for my body to wake up, and my nice breakfast. I have to say my mornings are like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. It's like I'm very slow. So I do the cuddling, the stretching, breakfast. I love breakfast. I think it's the best meal of the day. So for me, it's like a slow one. And then a shower, and then the meditation. But this is the one I had to get better. It's like there are months that I'm like constant, like every morning.
Yeah.
After the shower, before the shower, I have my 10-15 minutes. It's like but now, for example, it depends, or I'm super constant, or like, but this is another thing to improve.
But it's funny, it
And
happens to me the same. There are some days that I can do every day very constantly, and there are some days that I just feel like I don't need it, or it's just out of my mind completely, no?
Yeah, totally. I also think that this 10-15 minutes stretch that I do is a kind of meditation, because I'm
exactly. Yoga is also part of the meditation. It's like
exactly.
mindfulness.
Yeah, but I think it's also like we have a nice terrace, so being in the sun for like 10 minutes, just breathing, it's also very good. And then when all of this is done, is when I switch off the flight mode. But for me, it's very important on my morning routine, there is no flight mode on until all of this is done. I don't want to, because if not, this is the amygdala thing we were saying before, if I switch it on before and then I start seeing messages, then I have breakfast thinking of what I've just seen.
Yeah.
Or thinking, no. Yeah. It's like I want a happy start of the day, relax.
The date with yourself in the morning.
Yeah. The first meeting with myself is until I finish my stretch, my waking up, my breakfast, and my shower. And then, okay, I'm ready for the world. It's like now I'm here, but not before.
I will do the flight mode.
The flight mode. And the phone outside the room. That's very important.
It's been a fight for me since a while already, and
I'm gonna buy you the little one.
It's like, but then for me it shouldn't be that hard. But then Mario, my partner, he cannot without phone, and maybe we really need that alarm, so he would not have any excuse.
Exactly.
Okay, the question 2: is there any important book that has helped you improve over the years?
Wow, here I have to be super honest. I think I'm the worst reader in the world. It's like I try. This is not a thing that I need to improve. I try, but I get sleepy or I get bored. I have to say that, for example, now in St. Jordi's Day, my sister-in-law booked me like a book, and it just
Are you piled them in the shelves?
No. This one is like, if there is a book that it like keeps, like, how to say it, is like attracts my attention from the minute one, then I cannot stop. After a year and a half, I think I'm reading a book. Right now, I'm reading a book. It's a novel. It's like nothing important, like life situations, but it's like it to me. But it doesn't happen often. So if I have to recommend a book I read, I would be lying, because it's really difficult. I start a lot of books, but then I stop. But then yesterday, I saw a TED talk that is very connected to what we're talking, that I would recommend. That is something called like make stress your friend. If you go to the TED talks on the 25 more popular or something, it's one of them. So I would recommend this one, because it's talking a lot about what we're talking today.
Okay.
But I cannot recommend a book. I'm a bad reader.
Well, it's just a habit in the end. One of that. But you said that you're also reading in a bed. You're probably reading with the iPad, no?
No, with the book. Is that book that I told you? It's the one. It's the one. And then I have the daughter of a very good friend that she loves reading. She's 10 years old. And she was like, Eva, how come you don't read? And I was like, Neat, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm lazy. I don't know what's the problem. And she was like, oh, hey, I have the book for you. So my next book after I finish this one is Harry Potter. She gave me Harry Potter. She was like, I promise you're not going to be able to stop reading this. So I will tell you about it. I don't know.
But it's funny because when I was younger, I could not also read. I was getting bored and stuff. But then was a moment when I discovered the whole spiritual books, the whole Buddhistic
Yeah,
books about yoga and about meditation, chakras, and so on. And when the topic was so interesting for me, I could not stop reading. And this was a thing that
that's
the click. And since
yeah,
then,
probably
for me, it's like,
yeah, probably I'm the same. It's like yeah,
so
but
maybe next time I
not
give
all.
you the present a book.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. No, I start a lot of books, but I never finish. That's my that. mm.
It's also
It
probably
it
lack of
needs to it
time.
need yeah, maybe because in vacation I always read a book.
Ah,
Yeah, it's true.
well, for example, since we have the lockdowns and the COVID stuff, my books are also on the hold because I always was reading when I was flying. I love reading when
You
flying,
see,
or especially when there are long flies to another site. So it's like for 7 8 hours, it's amazing. I could finish like half of the book already. And now I was like, damn, my reading habit stopped.
true, so true. But that's the reason I love podcasts now because I'm better listening. I
Exactly.
love doing things at home and having my headphones on, of course, and listening to podcasts. I enjoy them a lot. Or like even the documentaries on or whatever. I usually don't even look I'm doing other things and I'm listening to them. I'm like I'm better on
Ah,
listening than reading.
true. Good one.
To be honest, I have to try these listening books.
Mm-hmm.
How they
The
call it? No,
audiobooks. Mm-hmm.
audiobooks. Maybe I should try.
Mm-hmm. And the third question, what are you currently most passionate about?
Wow. I think education and mentoring. I'm on one of these moments that I need a new challenge in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Not a new challenge or something new. And this happened since COVID. And I was like, okay, I know. And I started to think about like, okay, I have 20 more years of career. What do you want to do? No, or what's the next goal? Or what do you want to do next? So it
Exactly.
doesn't mean I want to stop what I'm doing. I just need something else to do. So I started to think about I really want to take all the know-how that I have
Mm.
and pass to someone that can use it. No? I
Yeah.
was like, okay, everything, but it doesn't mean that everything, that all my know-how is good. It's like I can explain what I did or I can explain what it happened to me, but then I expect each person to take what they think it's useful or not. It doesn't mean that it's for sure good. But yeah, now I'm in these moments that I have the gut feeling or like I have the feeling or I have I don't know how to say it, I have the passion that I would love to pack all this knowledge
Mm.
and all this experience and take put it there for the people who can use it. So the thing is like education. I would love to do mentorings or just one-to-one. If someone thinks that I can help them in something, just call me. And like, so this is where I'm passionate about now.
And I'm sure you
I would
can
say
communicate this a
education.
lot.
Oh, thank you. Or at least explain your own experience, and if it like gives a little a little spark to someone, I'm happy already. So
So I wish you all the best for the future project, for the future education projects.
thank you very
I
much.
think we will see so many things coming up still.
I would love that. I hope so too.
Oh my God, Eva, what a beautiful talk we had.
Yeah, I had lots of fun. So thank you very much, Eva, for inviting me.
Thank you so
I had
much
fun.
for joining us here today. And I'm sure not only me who learned something from that, I'm sure everyone who will listen to this podcast will learn so many things, and not only those who's working in the music industry, but also those who's working in any types of the jobs, so in office,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everything you can
I think we
apply.
say every. I think in anything in life or any
Yeah,
profession,
Yeah. And it's also like it's not only fun in a job at work, but it's also in your daily life at home and everywhere. Just as you say, stop, think, breathe.
Breathe.
No, because we forget
Completely.
to breathe completely. We forget to breathe.
Yeah, completely.
And let's hope more and more this education comes from the small days, as we were saying before. That from the small days they will teach the kids how to breathe, how to stop, and then we will have the more brighter future on this planet.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
So thanks for everyone who is watching this podcast today or tomorrow after tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure you enjoyed this talk with me and Eva. And if you want to get more tips about yoga, mindfulness, meditation, nutrition, self awareness, subscribe to OneMindZone.com newsletter. And you can also receive the mindfulness challenge again about the same thing about being aware, breathing, being aware of the things you're doing and doing one thing at once. Um, you can also subscribe to this YouTube channel here. You can also push the thumbs up if you like this video. And yes, if you subscribe, you will receive notification about the new podcast coming up soon. And yes, thank you again and see you soon.